What up, guys? Wowzer, look at all these people already on here. Pressure washing versus power washing. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I was supposed to have somebody else on here, and they have not being able to get a hold of. So, I'm going to have to find me some better guests that are that will show up. So, if you know of any good guests or you want to come on here and you'll show up, let me know. But I did just get off of a Zoom call with a lot of guys in my membership, and it was pretty cool. We had, I think there were probably 15 to 20 at a couple different times. And so I think that it went very well. We went for about an hour and a half. I usually only like to go for an hour so I can, make sure people's time. But there was a lot of good questions getting asked. And so if you want to go check that out for the next one, it'll be in 2 weeks. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com/training. And when you sign up, I will send emails of all that kind of stuff for the Zoom calls. The Zoom call is something that I think does help a lot of people. And so I think that can be definitely something to help you grow your business and be successful, because I love to be on Jason. Okay, cool, Kyle. I'll definitely, I'm trying to get one person on next week, and then I'll definitely check you out. So, or get you on here. But I like the Zoom calls because, a lot of you guys are starting out and you're in these different areas. I was in that area, but it was 10 years ago. And so sometimes it's hard for me to go back and remember what needs to be done. And a lot of times just a little bit of encouragement of somebody that's just the next level above you saying, hey man, I just did this last week or 2 weeks ago or 6 months ago, and this is how I got to that next step. And, we were talking in there, the two hardest things of your business. One is when you go full time, and two is when you get off the truck. And so that is definitely something that, this is some things that you definitely need to do. You should get Kyle McGuire in here to talk. I don't know who that is. I'm going to write that name down, though, because that sounds like a good person. I think I know who it is, but I want to make sure. I get a lot of people, so. But yeah, so them are some things that we can definitely do to help us. So I'm going to talk a little bit. Maybe Coty thinks it's 8. Oh, you know what? He probably is, but I called him and everything, and he didn't answer. So if he calls me, I may try to join him in, and as long as it isn't too hard. But you're probably right, because when we were at Washington, he thought it was 8 o'clock too down there. So, so some things that I get asked a lot of times is, pressure washing versus soft washing. Which one should I do? Which one? And I wanted him to kind of be on here too, because, he's kind of the soft wash king of, 12 volts and that kind of thing. And, pressure washing, which I don't really use pressure washing. I use a pressure washer, but that's not how I clean. I clean by Downstream Injection. And so, them are some things that I will definitely look at, some options. So what is pressure washing? So when I was, before I became a professional pressure washer, I had an old house. It was a 2-story house, and on this 2-story house, the second story was high, and I had to climb up with a ladder, and I took a white tip and I just blasted away. And that's how I cleaned. And so, these are some things that, we can do that aren't really fun to do at the end of the day. And this isn't the way to be a professional. Now, they used to have the big noodle. Some of you guys are old, some of you probably not, but some of you may be old enough to know what I mean by the big noodle. And it's a long pole that they used the white tips on top, and you had to pressure wash it that way, and you actually use pressure. But we know that pressure does not clean. When I jump in the shower, I do not take a shower and just turn more pressure up to get myself clean. And so if we think that that's the case, it's not going to work very well. You've grown a beard since the Zoom call a few moments ago. So, we know that that's not going to work very well at all. And so, is everyone that belongs to the membership have access to the Zoom meeting? Yes. And I will actually, I will put this Zoom meeting in the pressure or into the membership, so that way if anybody that is in the membership wants to go check it out, you can go check it out. But that and it would take me freaking 4 or 5 hours to do one side, moving the ladder, climbing up and down the ladder, hanging onto the ladder, using pressure. And all we're doing is, I love when people use pressure, and that's it. Because in about 3 or 4 months, you're going to see the mold start growing back. Because again, we are not taking a shower with more pressure. You can turn it up, and I've been in some hotels that it feels like it's going to take your skin off, but that don't make you cleaner. What makes us cleaner is soap, and that's soft washing, right? So when we take that soft washing and we do it with the soft washing, now we can clean ourselves. And so the soap is what is doing the work. And it's the soap that at the end of the day is going to do all the work for us and to make us cleaner and everything. So Benjamin, thank you for the super chat. Always a pleasure. Bring on the videos. Really need to chat about buying your commercial membership. As you know, we do a lot of commercial, but I want more. Okay. And I gotta get, yes, and I need to get with you, which these next 2 weeks are going to be a little bit crazy for me. This week here's pretty normal. Next week's not going to be normal at all. My mom's getting knee surgery and all kinds of stuff. So, but when we go to clean a house and we're doing soft washing, we're going to use a chemical. Now, we need to know what we're cleaning. If we're cleaning something that is organic, there's this great stuff that's called bleach. Well, it's not really called bleach. Bleach is a trade name. Let me see. How do we need to do it? All right, so we still might get Coty on here. Let me see if I can get him on here while I'm talking. And let's see if he'll answer his phone. Sorry that it's going to go do this while I'm setting up. And while I'm trying to set up, I'll try to get this going and get everything done what we need to do while I'm trying to do this. So if I kind of look at my phone, then I'll change it. But again, this is some things that we need to do to be able to clean stuff. And so it'll come down to the surfaces that we're trying to clean, and it will come down to the type of stuff we're trying to clean. So if we're trying to clean something organic, we're going to use this stuff called sodium hypochlorite, right? So that's SH. And so SH will clean a lot of stuff, and it's an amazing stuff to clean with. If it's used if we're using it to do the wrong thing, if we use too much of it, we will kill everything. It's an amazing thing. It will nuke everything. If you want no grass to grow for a while, you throw this stuff out there and no grass will grow. Guaranteed no grass will grow, period. Because the salt goes down into the ground, because sodium hypochlorite is actually made from salt. Salt is how they make this stuff. They do this. I don't know how they do it exactly. I need to go. My buddy Al, I don't know if he's in here tonight or not. Al, he actually has an in there, and so he just got out of church, so he will be on here shortly. Okay. So Al he used to work for a school teacher that could maybe own part of the major manufacturer. And so sodium hypochlorite is salt that they turn into, that's how they make sodium hypochlorite. So with that, sodium hypochlorite, that is how they make it. So this is how we can make and clean organic stains. It also sanitizes, and it can do amazing things as long as we're using it in the right proportion, and we're using it in the using Coty Southern Draw right now. Actually, so far my guys are saying great things. Virtually stops the runs on the roof. Yeah, you can really make it pretty strong where it won't run on the roof. So that is a good thing about it. And so that is definitely something that we can do to make it happen. So, but that's how we can clean organic growth. So like mold, algae, all that kind of stuff, we can clean with just just that. Now, if we need to clean inorganic stuff, so like rust or things along those, battery acid, stuff like that, we need to use an acid to clean it. And again, we're on that pH scale, that thing that you never thought you would use in high school. It's called a pH scale. 1 is acids, 14 is bases, 7 is neutral. And so, 1 and 14 and 7. So if we need to use stuff to get rust up and rust stains, we're going to use an acid that's going to be pretty strong, and that's going to be in the 1 category. Now, we can use a 14 category and bring it back to 7, and that way we can neutralize that acid. And that is how we can, Coty is being fashionably late. He just left church, so he got Jesus, and now he can come and share some Jesus. And so definitely, we'll see what he says here shortly, but we'll see what it is. But again, that is definitely, as long as my computer is going to work too, that'll be the only other issue. But again, that is some things that we can do to clean stuff. And that is the difference between pressure washing, power washing. Somebody said the other day, and it's not true, power washing versus pressure washing means you're using a heater. That has nothing to do with it. Heat has nothing to do with whether we are pressure washing or we're soft washing. I can soft wash with heat. I can soft wash without heat. I can pressure wash with heat. I can pressure wash without heat. Heat, all it does is it will help if we're using heat. We, especially on vinyl siding, we got to be careful. You will melt the vinyl siding down and it'll look real nice and wavy, and it's not a good thing to happen to you. So if that happens to you, you got to make sure that we are being safe when we do it and do that. Now, what we can do is once it starts getting cold a little bit, we can turn that heater on warm water, and then that warm water will actually help those chemicals work better and to and do better on the siding and stuff. So that is definitely something that we can do with heat, and heat does help bring up the oil also. So if we have oil stains, in there, we can help bring up the oil, but we're not going to, there's a good possibility that we're not going to bring up the stain. And so, yes, we'll bring up the oil, but we're probably not going to bring out the stain 100%. And so that is definitely some things that we got to be able to do. I know I sound like a broken record, but I have to say thank you again, Jason. We owed $21,000 on my wife's van when we started our business 3 months ago. Guess what's getting paid off this week? That right there is freaking amazing and awesome. And it is something that I do believe wholeheartedly that a lot of people can do. And so I really do. That is awesome. That is Illinois Power Washing. Started 3 months ago and is already paying off tons of debt. And if you want to be debt-free, this is how you can get debt-free. And debt-free is absolutely amazing. You can do a lot of things when you're debt-free. And so there's a lot less worries that you got to. Hell, I was using Pearl. Now I'm using LA Totally Awesome detergent. And so that is something else you can do. But again, this is definitely something that we can do. And power washing versus pressure washing is, or soft washing. And soft washing, what are some methods of soft washing? Well, there's about 3 different methods of soft washing. The first soft washing is obviously we can do a 12 volt and we can do a booster pump and we can do all that kind of thing. And we're going to put the chemical on the wall through a 12 volt system or a booster pump or a gas powered Comet pump or any way like that. Basically, we're going to take chemical out of a tank, and we're going to put it in over here. The next method is downstream injection. So downstream injector, we're going to put a little ejector on the right by the pump, and we're going to pump. It's not going to go through the pump, but it's going to come out of the pump and go out that hose and go out. And so that is a downstream injector. That's how a lot of times I teach, and that's how I've always cleaned houses. We can clean anything except roofs this way. We can't clean stucco with it. So if you live in the land of stucco, then you are definitely not going to be able to make that work. And so them are some ways that we can clean different ways. I just put, and then the last way is an X-Jet. An X-Jet goes right on the end of the gun, and it's going to pull soap right from where you are. An X-Jet, we can get pretty strong. We can get up to about 4 to 1. If we idle our engine down and do some other things, we can get a little bit stronger. But that is definitely something that we can do is through X-Jetting. So it is something. In cold weather, it gets hard, and it's hard to roll up. Binds up really bad. Gotcha. So again, that is some things that we need to do. Now, Jason has been not gotten a new computer, and tonight seems to be like one of those nights that I might not get to ask the questions. I may have to get on my phone here and pull up questions to see what questions are getting asked. Hopefully Coty will be coming here shortly. I'm going to see if I can ring his bell one more time and see if he can get on here. I need to buy 200 feet of high pressure hose, Curry Tech. The way to go, should I go single wire or 2-wire? High pressure hose. Wouldn't Curry Tech isn't really high pressure hose, and that kind of stuff. So, okay, just got the okay from the warden. I will be able to come to training on the July 31st. So if you go to pressurewashhelp.com/Coty, we'll take you to his webpage. It's all coming through his webpage. You can go check that out there and fill out all the information on his webpage. Don't do it on my webpage. It's pressurewashhelp.com/Coty. We'll take you there. The link is also down into the description there. So if my computer screen will allow me, I'll show you a little picture of myself on there. But that is definitely something that you might want to check out and to see that. But again, pressurewashhelp.com/Coty, or you can go to Softwash System Southeast Softwash.com, and it will take you there also. So again, there we go. I knew it would come up eventually. But again, you can go under training, and that will bring you, you go right here to training, and then it'll drop you my ugly mug right there. And that is where you can see the training is at. It will be me and him both teaching. I don't know exactly who's going to be teaching what. I don't know the whole process. So, but hopefully he will come on here shortly, and we can get him up and talk for the last couple minutes here, or last 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, whatever we can get out of him. I know he's busy and all that great stuff. But, so, I'm going to actually go here to, since my computer's being slow, I'm going to go to my live feed here, so that way I can ask questions off of my phone and get what I need. I'm going to turn that down. All right. So some of the questions we got Mr. Arkansas Softwash on here, I see. Did you say you cannot softwash stucco? No, that is a negative. You can absolutely softwash stucco. You got to use a stronger solution to be able to softwash. To be able to softwash, you will need to be at a stronger solution. So if you're doing stucco, you need to be around 3 to 4% of SH. or sodium hypochlorite mix to be able to clean that stuff, to be able to get it done. If you are at who's Southeast Softwash, I know the person that was told me he would be on here, and then he was at church instead. He was thought 9 o'clock Central Time versus 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So that's what happens when that happens. Yes, we only have 12 thumbs ups. Do you just need a stronger than 1% in most cases? Most cases, I did a lot of house washing with about a 0.75 to a 0.9%. I did a 50-50 mix, which was a 6% mix, and I downstreamed that, which is 10-1. And I ran this in all my trucks, and the only thing we couldn't clean with that is stucco, and we couldn't clean roofs with it. But I was at a 6% mix, and that's what I actually cleaned my roofs with. So I pulled out of my same tank of SH, which was at a 6% mix, and that's what I pulled out of there. And so that is what I did to make that happen. So when you pull in SH out of there, that you can pull out of the same tank, and that way I could do that no problem. Why are people in South Florida so cheap? I don't know if that they're so cheap. It's just a matter of what people try to get in that. I know Bobby Walker, he's in Orlando and he's doing fine. I know Jason on here and he's doing he's not as high as what some other people are, but he tried to call I believe it was 6 different window cleaning companies. And you know how many window cleaning companies called, answered their phone, or either answered their phone or called him back? 1. And so answering your phone, you can make a lot of money by answering your phone. That is probably the best way you can make the most money, is answer your phone. You have to answer that phone right then and right there. You don't let them go to voicemail. And I know sometimes we're busy and we're around loud noises and all that kind of stuff. But if we don't answer our phone, it doesn't do us no good at all, period. And so make sure we're answering our phone. That is definitely something. On LinkedIn, I read a thing today, or yesterday it was, about landscaping companies. He tried to contact 30 different landscaping companies. Out of those 30 landscape companies, how many do you think called back? How many do you think either answered their phone or called back? Can you give me a guess? Give me a guess. How many do you think either called back or answered their phone out of 30 different landscapers? 5. 4 answered their phone, and 5 and 1 responded back. Now, do I call that competition? Hell no, I don't call that competition. I call that they don't want business. They don't want work, and they don't want none of that stuff. So again, that is definitely something that we just got to answer our phone at the end of the day. Is 300 feet too long for a 5.5 12-volt pump? Yeah, especially if it's only ½ inch. It's definitely long. Wait, Jason, you soft washed before I thought it was a joke. Yeah, I've been soft washing for a while. I love 2-wire downstreaming. I don't love 2-wire. I like 1-wire. 2-wire gets heavy, and I'm lazy, and I don't like doing that. 15 to 17 cents per square foot on a roof, and still people saying too high. Well, they're not your customer. And then you got to sell yourself. I'm here. You can start now. Well, Coty's not here yet, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to give him another ring here. I'm also moonlighting as a gigolo. You just can't soft wash trees. Well, you can soft wash trees. They're probably not going to live after it's done. They're probably going to be dead. So that's not a good thing to do. I use an answering service. That's a good thing to do. If you know you can't answer that phone, pay somebody that can answer that phone. A lot of these answering companies are not that expensive. At the end of the day, you can't pay somebody the same amount of money to do it. And so, that's what happens. So definitely, I would definitely pay somebody. I would definitely look at paying somebody. Let's see here. Distance of the hose and let's I found if you can really explain what you are doing, people will buy it, no problem. You're exactly right, Wild Wild West. If we don't try to sell ourselves, nobody else is going to sell ourselves. And so if we don't sell ourselves, somebody else is going to sell for us. So that is definitely something that we need to do. I'm thinking just 200 feet. And if I have a problem, just add 200 feet of hose is definitely something that you want to look at, just doing 200 feet of it. I think I can handle 2-wire. Hell, I'm using Simpson hose right now. And Simpson hose is like a stiff, yeah, you know what I'm going after. I use an answer. Hey, this is Josh with PW75 Cleaning. What chemical should I use to wash a cabin? I use sodium hypochlorite is what I use. That is what I use. You can use sodium hydroxide also to clean a cabin. Sodium hydroxide is another great way to clean stuff. So that is definitely something that you could use also. I'm going to text him real quick. I have 125 people waiting for you. Yep, answer the phone, keep marketing, and get to the customers. In Florida, there are a lot of $99 guys. There's a lot of $99 guys around here, but there's guys. DJ did a job the other day, and he bid the wrong house, and he was like $200 more, and the woman's like, okay. And it was for a 2-story, and the house he was going for was a bi-level. And he's like, I would have never charged that much. And he was the nice guy and didn't charge that much. And so, people will pay it. If you've got to ask for it. The biggest thing in business is this thing up here. This thing up here gets in the way of a lot of people. This right here will screw you more than anything else, because we will tell ourselves that, oh, they won't pay that, and oh, what about that? So this up here can really make or break you. At the end of the day, this right here, in between these two ears here, this brain will, if you got a poor mindset mentality, you are going to be screwed, period. You got to, people will be like, well, I never pay that. Well, you know what? You're probably not my customer. And so this is definitely something that we have to be able to do, and to be able to do it right and do it good. And so, when we can pay and when we charge people and people pay it, that's what we can get out of it. And some people, I heard last week, Michael was like, but I don't feel like that's, I just don't feel like I can charge that much. I don't feel right with that. If you don't feel right with it, that's up to you, and that's fine. But if you don't charge it, these other people are charging it. Only thing you're doing is becoming the $99 guy. Or you might be the $199, but everybody else is at $400. And they're making it, and they're doing fine, and that's exactly what they want to do. If you want to be able to become a full-time pressure washer and get off the truck, you got to be able to charge. If you cannot charge, if you're only charging $200, you're going to have a heck of a time coming off that truck, period. I don't care what you do, you will struggle your entire career of being a pressure washer. 100% you will struggle like no other. So don't be afraid to charge. Go out there and get it. Never put in a 5.5. It's place so I can compare. I have a 5.5 that feeds my pressure washer pump on the truck, and I can tell a big difference. Don't be late. The 5.5 is quieter and cheaper. Yeah. What percent for a log cabin? I'm thinking, I always just use the mild one. 0.75 is exactly what I used. You can go a little bit stronger than that, but I never went. And then if you're going to do, it depends on if you're cleaning or if you're stripping. If you're just cleaning, you can use that, or you can use sodium hydroxide. Either one will work. Cheap people here in Florida. I don't like customers that think it's okay to try and bargain with me. Well, or raise your prices so when they bargain, they're like, oh, well, you got a good deal. Hi, Jason. Been so busy making money. Oh, shoot. Thank you for the super chat. How did you handle people who asked you to come down a little on price? Speaking of residential jobs, do you come down at all or hardball it? The only way I would come down is if I was going after, if I was so far out and they wasn't going to buy anyway, then I would come down. That's the only time I would. Or you can do like I think I told you what one of your competitor does is they charge way more. They charge a lot more, and then then you can come down and you can give a 10% discount, and that discount sounds so great and amazing. They will buy it like that, and yet that 10% discount is higher than what you would have charged before. So if you're planning on giving discounts, if you're planning on doing that, don't be at this price that you're at right now and give a discount. Go up here, and now we can give a discount. Raise your price 10, 15%. See if people buy. And what you can do is start, on that email sequence, now we can drop it down a little bit and say, hey, ma'am, if you book today, we'll give you a 10% discount, which is, let's just say, for instance, our normal house wash is $300. We're going to keep easy math, $300. But if you say, this house is $300, but I'm going to charge you $350. If you book today, I'll take 10% off. So now we went from $350 down to where? That's $35. Now we just made our money come up even higher. So if you're going to give discounts, make sure that you come up on your pricing. Do not be at $300 and give a 10% discount. Now we're at $270. Don't do it. So Benjamin Baker, that's exactly what I tell you to do is raise your prices and come down on your discounts if you're going to give discounts. And raise your prices and see if people buy. And if they don't buy, he can't get it. He's mentally challenged on this stuff. But let me know, that is definitely something that is for sure something that you can do to raise your prices. If you want to give a discount. Now, like I say, the only time I would give discounts is that like my 21-day email would go out. Then I would give a discount because they're probably not going to close. Don't give it at the number 14-day discount. So on my email sequence out, on that number 14, if you're doing an email sequence out, if you're emailing 3-4 times within that 14-day, you will close more jobs on day 14 than any other day. So do not give discounts on day 14. Give discounts on day 21 or 30. That's when you want to give that discount of, hey, I noticed you haven't bought. I know you're probably still looking for quotes and bids and nobody's getting back to you. I will send you a, I knew he was going to say that. I hate daggone computers. That is definitely something that I would do to be able to get that. So again, that is definitely a way to And what that does too is, guess what? There's people that will buy at that $350 price that was going to buy at the $300 price. It's kind of like I was saying, DJ. He charged a lady, he thought it was a 2-story big monstrous house, $550. Pulls up, it's a little bi-level and it's nothing. And so he went for $350. The woman was okay with paying $550 for a bi-level 1,800 square foot house, and it would have took 45 minutes for $550. Think about that. Some person's going to pay $550 to make their house look clean and new again. But Jason, that's a lot of money. There ain't no way I'd pay that. Well, my next question to that is would that lady pay, how much does she go and get her car cleaned? You go watch these car washes. We got a car wash right down the road. He's actually a good friend of mine. He's on water rescue with me. His name's Mike Bailey, Bailey's Car Wash. And it's just this little rinky-dink car wash, and it's kind of off of the main drag, and it makes $1.5 million a year. So how much and these are $30 and $40 washes to do these car washes. $20 to $40 is the range. So $1.5 million a year. Think about that. How many people he has different, he actually has a membership type, and it's like $50 a month. You can go as many times as you want, and that. And so he's got enough of those that pays all his bills, all his employees, and everything. So that is definitely something that you got to make sure that you are going after and not being afraid to charge customers. If you're afraid to charge customers, you will not be in business. And of course, Benjamin is in business and making a killing already, but this is a better way to, and here's the other thing it will help you do. It will help you get off the truck faster too, because that means you're making more money per job and you don't have to do as many jobs to make as much money. So that is definitely something you want to do. Let me see. Hurry up. I'm going to put on here. Hurry up and learn it. But again, that is definitely something. Sometimes people pay more for you than the service being offered. And again, I talked about this, I believe, last week. We are not selling pressure washing. We are not selling pressure washing. We are selling time. Because anybody can pressure wash. I just asked, on this board, difference between pressure washing and power wash, or power washing, pressure washing versus soft washing. And so what's the difference? What's the difference? We're not paying that. Anybody can go pressure wash. Anybody can go get spray and forget. It won't clean their house, but it'll make them feel good. And they can spray that stuff right on there. And, that's exactly what you can do all day long, And so that is definitely, we are selling time. At the end of the day, he hasn't used Skype in a couple months, and he said he's mildly retarded. So, at the end of the day, it is one of those things that we can go out there and we can go and upsell those people and get that money to be able to, drive business, and we can do what we need to do, All right, let me see if this thing's going to work. Nope, it's not. My brother's on here, and he gave me a text the other day saying I need to get a new computer, because that's what I've been saying, because this one's being slow and stupid. I guess he still hasn't figured it out. What is so much for $7,000 or 7,000? What is too much for 7,000 square foot apartment building? So how I teach my people in my, Benjamin. There's a group of people who will lowball me at times. I got 7,000 square foot apartment building. I would bid it by the hour. You can bid it however you want, but I would bid it by the hour for sure. I want to get this one up here because that's an amazing one. Can I send him a link? Let me see if I can send him a link here real quick. Um, shoot, I don't know if I can or not. I'm not much better at this stuff. But yes, that is amazing. I know it sounds like a broken record. We owed $21,000 on a van and paid it off. That right there is freaking awesome. That right there is amazing. At the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. That's amazing. I don't know if I can send a link or not. Create a poll, schedule a call. I wonder if I can do this. Schedule a call. Title, loser. Time is now. I don't know if I can send a call that way. A couple of live shows ago, you said I would get the Flexzilla hose from my Softwash system. Is that the same thing as Flexzilla air hose? I think it is, but don't want to get the wrong hose. 1/2 inch, 5 1/8. Yeah, it is. It is for sure. You can also go to 5/8 garden hose too, and just make sure you get it in one long row. 5/8 is actually will get you better distance and longer distance and stuff like that. It will definitely get you a longer distance. So, it will definitely get you longer distance. I don't think that's what I want, Jason. Shoot, I don't think I'm gonna get him on here tonight. Can you send me a link? Nope. But yes, that is definitely something that you can do. All right, so I'm gonna get back on here. So let me find some more questions here. Jimmy Hall, to Central Illinois, I want to be like you. Been off the truck for a few weeks and the revenue has actually increased to $11,000 per week per truck. It's been great. That is freaking awesome, Benjamin. Did I not say that if you got off the truck, you will make more money? I'm pretty sure I said that. That's usually what happens, because now you can do more time and do more stuff by not being on the truck. So definitely that is something that, that's yeah, so that is definitely something that you want to be able to do, is get off the truck, and you will make more money at the end of the day. Who's all in the chat? Everybody's in the chat. How many trucks you run? Great job. I believe if you're talking about Benjamin Baker, he runs 2 trucks. He just got his second one up full time. So that's $22,000 a week. That's pretty good money, right? Let's see, per week, per truck. So that's $22,000 per week. That's $80,000, $90,000 months. Get you some of that. $90,000 months. That is awesome. Huge spider on the wall behind you. Thank you for the video help with the mixed tank. Buffer tank next. I would rather buy a new, but DIY is teaching me a lot of skills to troubleshoot down the road. How to use Skype tutorial. I'm going to have to send that to him next time. Benjamin, that's great, man. Congratulations. Raising prices here in South haven't been working for me. People don't want to pay too much for a house wash in the South. Some of the guys getting $500 house wash, that's just amazing. Yep, it is. Some people can get it and some people can't. And I understand that 100%. Hit the thumbs up. Benjamin, If you play your cards right and focus more on the customer experience, retention than the actual money, you will absolutely get there. And that is very good. That is some good stuff right there. If you because at the end of the day, it's about the customer experience. And I always teach, it's all about the little things. Let's see. What up, dude?
Hey, I'm watching you, and I'm looking at my screen. There's no way to get logged in.
Can you do it on your phone?
I've tried that too. It's locked me out of my Microsoft account.
I got you. You don't have a Skype account?
I do, but the only time I used it was when we roasted Ben Hill.
I got you.
And so I can't get back in the thing, and I bought a new computer since then, and I just can't get in. Like, I'd probably come out better trying to hack into the NSA at this point.
All right. Well, we understand. We only got 150 people we're waiting on you right now, so.
Only 150.
147, I'm sorry, so.
Is there any other way to get on here?
Can you create another Skype account?
I can. I can try it real quick. It's going to take me just a second.
All right. Try to get you another Skype account and see if we can get that way.
I'll text you.
All right.
Bye. All right. Bye.
So, again, that is definitely some things that we can do to do that. Benjamin Hill, if you play your cards right, yes. So the customer experience at the end of the day is probably the most important thing to get our prices up and raise our pricing. If we can have a great customer experience, that is one thing that will help us get our 5-star reviews. When we're getting our 5-star reviews, that right there is part of the customer journey, part of the customer experience. When they're looking you up online and they find out that you have 75 5-star reviews and your competitor has only got 40 or 30, or you got 120 and they don't have that much, that right there is the very first part of the customer experience. They're like, man, this guy must be really good. You know, he just didn't get all his buddies to give a 5-star review. He got all kinds of 5-star reviews. And so, you know, when we're scrolling through that and we're getting those 5-star reviews, that is the very first part. The next part is your website, because they're probably going to go to your website and check out your website. You know, another thing, even on Google Maps, they're going to look at they may look at your pictures. They might want to look and see, hey, are you a person that don't wear, you're just kind of slacking around and you're just nasty and all that kind of stuff? Or are you nice and fitted and all that kind of thing? Do you have nice truck, nice equipment? Now, do you have to have a nice truck and equipment? No. Greg Townsend works out of an old, probably 90s F-150 and killing it out there in the middle of Georgia, and doing really well. He's in between Chattanooga and Atlanta, and he's doing really well. And so that is definitely something you can do to make your business grow. And so it's all the little things. It's all, at the end of the day, it's all the little things. It goes from the little things of, the little things from way you've done your Google My Business, the way your website looks, the way you answer the phone, the way you talk to your customers, the way we are trying to make that, a lot of people get on the phone, and I've listened to some people talk on the phone, and I'm just like, why would I buy from these people? The main reason we don't make more money is because we don't ask for more money. And you're absolutely right. If you don't ask, you won't get it. I guarantee you, if you don't ask for more money, you will never get more money. That's like, I would make $100 bet right now that if you don't ask for more money, you won't get it. And I'll win it every time. And it's like I was saying, though, we can go out there and ask for more money. And if you want to give a discount and make them feel like that, but some people don't want discounts either. Some people are just willing to pay it. And so I'm in marketing, all build your email list, always get a good email. Absolutely. Email lists are very important. That can be part of the customer's journey. You know, them listen, you sending emails out and you doing different things along those ways. Hey, Jason, what would you recommend to remove food oil stains from concrete? You're going to need a good degreaser. And so the specifics of Coty. You're going to need a good degreaser at the end of the day. You're going to need, you can use EBC. I used to do a Chick-fil-A and I would use EBC because it's not a real harsh degreaser, so you don't have to worry about it running off and making a mess. You can use like sodium hydroxide beads, or that kind of what is it called, sodium hydroxide beads. But then you got to worry about stuff running out on the road, and you can change the color and all that kind of stuff. So we really got to be careful with that. So let me see if I can get him on here. What name is... hey, Jason, I got a legit question. What do you do about power lines coming into the side of the house? I don't try to spray them too much. I don't. I try to... that's probably going to come up as that. Let's see if I can get this. See if I can get him up here real quick. He's got the hardest name to type here. Let me see which one this one is. See if this is ringing. I hope this is the right one. If not, we wow, that's loud. Uh-oh. We might... Oh, no. Holy crap. Let's see if he can find the little button that puts the camera on there. Oh, shoot. There he is. Let's see if my computer works now to get you up live, dude.
I'm sitting here with like 6 windows. My phone battery's on 10%. I'm trying to find the old password. Nothing freaking works. I'm looking at my pistol like, maybe this is the best option. I hate this crap. If I use it all the time, it wouldn't be that bad, but 3 times a year, I can't never get back into it.
I know it, dude. Let me see if my computer...
I apologize heavily.
Right. So what's going... Let me get you... I don't know if people can hear you or not on there. Let me see if I can get you up because my computer's being stupid now.
Oh, no. Don't say that.
Yeah, it's just sitting here spinning.
It's because I'm on here.
You're probably right, dude. You're probably right.
Golly. Crazy, man.
So one of the questions I had here was what about the being safe around power lines, spraying around power lines?
Yeah, that's a big no-no. You got to be extremely careful. So, let me ask you a question. You're a firefighter. Is pure water conductive?
Pure water is actually not conductive.
You're the first person that's ever answered that correctly.
So yeah, that is true. That is not conductive. Let me make sure I hear you talk. Yeah, you're talking right now. So okay. You're coming through that way. We just don't got you up here and on my screen. So you are correct. Pure water, that is actually what conducts the electricity is the dirt in the water, basically. That's what pure water is.
That's right. So minerals and stuff in the water, which is why we drink Gatorades, because we need electrolytes. So the problem with bleach and electricity or electric lines or weather heads or any of that is it's basically chock full of stuff for the electrons to flow across. That's why it's so conductive. So power lines, I've actually had a power line catch on fire before. It was at the telephone company up here in town. The building's like 120 years old, and they had those old ceramic things where the wires to come together. I mean, like old. And it was skint back wire, and where it had been flopping in the wind for like probably 70 years. And we sprayed, and it started arcing. So we had to rinse it, and go into freak out mode. That was not fun.
Yeah, and actually salt or the salt in the bleach is actually more conductive than
Yep.
just the water. I do know that for a fact because you can take a 12-volt meter and put on top of your battery and put salt water on there, and it will conduct down through there. So that could actually short your battery out, just getting water on top of the battery and make it draw more and kill that.
Yep. Yeah, bleach and electricity don't go together.
No, they don't. They don't. I really wish my computer would be nice and bring you up here, but
Now that I'm here,
I know we had. Let's see how many we had. 152 people still on here.
there's 159 right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the most I've ever had. You've just beat Bobby. So
Well, it's not hard to beat Bobby. He looks like Rick from Pawn Stars or a great value brand Stone Cold Steve Austin.
yeah. So I really wish this thing would work, but it's working overtime. My computer is. I hear it. So at least we can hear you. Where's your biggest fan, Bobby Walker? He's probably trying to do a live on himself with like 10 people. Usually, what happens. So.
He probably is. So over the weekend, we took the kids hiking. We went swimming. Took pretty much Saturday off. Didn't really do anything. Today, our church service ran a little bit late, and then I couldn't figure out the internet here for about 35, 40 minutes. And then tomorrow's Monday again. So we'll be right back starting off in the week trying to get some hose reels.
What's the deal with that? Why I've had some people ask me, what's the deal with hose reels not being made?
Titan is shut down for COVID is my understanding, but they weren't shut down for a long period of time, but it's just even a small shutdown has a big ripple effect. So nobody has Titan 12-inch hose reels. They're none to be had. We've got some on the way, so I'm hoping that we'll be okay with our builds. It's just aggravating because I like to have more than what I need. It's just annoying.
Gotcha. What? So do they say when it's going to be back up and when they're going to be able to get back to normal?
I think they're already back running, but Titan has told everybody, Russ Johnson, Pressure Washer Products, all the half a dozen guys out there that I've talked to, that they're going to be about 4 weeks in the behind mode. So here in the next 3 weeks or so, it's going to be fun times trying to find hose reels.
Gotcha. Hey, I got you on. Woohoo!
Okay, I'm waiting for it. I'm looking at my phone right here. I'm going to wait for it to update. So you can see me.
I can see you.
Man!
Again, if you want to have the best, we're at 161 people there. If you want to come to the best pressure washing class of the year, come July 31st. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com/Coty with a T, and it will take you there. Or you can go to Softwash or Southeast Softwash, and we are going to tag team a class on a Friday.
Yep. So it's not going to be a class on computers.
No, because otherwise we'd be screwed.
Well, but it will be a class on exterior cleaning, soft washing. Hey, I'm really interested to let you look through my safety manual that I've got put together. It's I think it's pretty good quality. I want to let you look at it and see what you think.
So why do we need a safety manual? And
oh man,
why do we need that for?
Man, listen, you don't need no safety manual. Listen, man, OSHA is not a real organization. You don't even need to worry about it. No, you really do. You do need a safety program in your business. You can get away with a lot if it's just you, owner, operator out there doing stuff. It's a different ball game. But as soon as you bring employees on, it's a different dynamic. And so you've got to have a program. Here's something I stress in my class. Train, provide, inspect, and document. And none of the first three matter unless you document everything. So you don't want to find that lesson out in court.
Nope.
Benjamin Baker.
Yep. Thanks for the super chat, dude. Benjamin Baker is a man of killing it right now. He just got off. He said there. I don't know if you looked, but he got off the truck about a couple weeks ago, which I talked to him a couple weeks ago. He just got off the truck, and since he got off the truck, he's making more money. Imagine that.
Oh wow,
$11,000 a week per truck time. So he's got 2 trucks. So
that's pretty good money right there, buddy.
get you some, dude. That's called growing a business right there.
Yeah. Hey, there's a small is okay. One like Aaron's business model. One guy, one truck, low headaches. Big is great. That's medium sucks. Medium sucks.
That's probably the hardest area too, right there in that, because he did $200,000 last year. Right in that 200,000 to 300,000 is really tough. It's either do you go on to the next level or do you stay small and just be content with your at there. And I always tell people, I did grow my business to $1 million, but unless you're planning on selling it at that point, it's just more headaches the more you build it. So.
Yeah, it's a lot. Now, I hired a guy that's starting tomorrow. So within the last 2 weeks, I've hired 2 people. But the guy that's starting tomorrow is a mechanic. Like, he's very, very squared away, dude. So now I've got 6 people working for me. But they're 6 really good people. They're like 6 like top-notch people. So they're expensive people. But I don't have a lot of personnel problems and drama with that kind of stuff. But you're right. It's like, do you stay here and kind of live the easier life and have decent money, or do you go here and have bigger money but bigger headaches?
Well, and what I always learned is if you have an issues at the $150,000, $200,000 range, and if you don't have your systems in place, when you go to bigger money, all that does is shine a big spotlight on the things that you are not good at, because what you're not good at is going to show bigger when you get up there. If you don't have your systems in place, if you don't have your check sheets and you don't do your training like you're supposed to, I'm going to get to it next week and next week. Next thing you know, OSHA's knocking on your door because somebody did something stupid. And now we are at that point of, oh crap.
Yeah. Or if you don't, like you mentioned with the training, let's say you bring on a tech, you kind of rush him through a week's worth of training and he's out there figuring it out as he goes. He's going to make errors and stuff, and it's going to cost you money, and you just kind of hope it pans out. But when you got 4 trucks, now you got 4 maintenance and stuff breaking down and wasting chemicals and just silliness. But yet the problems just get bigger. It's fun though, growing your business. It's exciting. We'll say that. I just don't know. See these grays, man.
I know it. See, I'm starting to grow one too now.
I like it.
So
that thing will be full by the time you get down here.
Probably so. I'm excited. I can't wait to get down there. I'm actually going to meet Bobby the week before, and then we'll be there. So.
Well, it wasn't too bad hot the last few days, so I'm hoping maybe it won't be so humid.
Yeah, it's been hot here, so that sucks. So it doesn't matter at that point. But how many people are we going to be able to have?
So we can do about 30. My class will hold 20. We can stretch that to about 22 in there. If we get up to 30, we're going to move it out into the shop, and we'll just move the projector and stuff out there.
Okay. We're going to get it there because I know some people are already signing up for it. So
yeah.
But what? So what if we're a new guy? What would you do? What would be some of the first things that you would do as a new guy?
You mean like just getting a wash truck off the ground kind of new guy?
Yeah.
Well, my situation was weird. What's up, Logan Majors? My situation was not normal because I had 15 years of soft washing experience, so I really didn't need a lot of training. And please, guys, please understand, I'm not saying this because I have a class. Like, y'all know me better than that. You literally don't know what you don't know. I have so many people that come to class, and I can just see like light bulb moments going off all the time, and they're saving so much. You'll figure it out, but how much are you going to lose in the 6 months or a year it takes to figure it out. So I would go find somebody to take some training with. So definitely that, and just, research as much as you can. Probably cutting corners. I wasted a lot of money on buying stuff and trying to kind of throw it together, make it work, when you could have just kind of buy once, cry once. It's just like anything else. If you're going to get into, pick a hobby, right, and you go the cheap route, if you stick with it, you're going to wind up spending the same money as if you'd have just got the thing you really wanted to start with. So that can be frustrating. You want equipment that's easy to maintain. You don't want stuff that you're spending a lot of maintenance time on. But here's the caveat. You've got to do maintenance in this industry. If you are getting into soft washing and you don't like doing maintenance, once a month, once every 2 or 3 weeks, just going through your stuff. I've got guys that freak out if they have to change out a swivel on a hose reel. It's like, bro, that's just part of it. It sucks, but it's $50, $60, whatever it is. It is what it is. So stay on top of your maintenance. I'm probably forgetting something, but those are kind of my top 3.
And, if you don't, some people are like, I don't know how to do maintenance, and there's ways around it. It's called, it's kind of like marketing. There's 2 ways to get customers. One way is take the time, learn it, do it, and everything like that. The other way is open up that little wallet, and you can buy all the customers you want. Now, it might cost you a lot, but you can buy them. You can do the same thing with a mechanic, or if you've got a small engine place repair or something. We have one on the north side of Cincinnati that's a pressure wash place. Are they cheap? Hell no, they're not cheap, but they can get you running, they can keep you running and working and everything like that. So definitely, and I know you have a lot of issues with people not maybe knowing what to do, or they're not mechanically inclined, and I have the same thing.
That is a problem with America. How many people on here? 159. Listen, y'all got to get mechanically inclined, baby. We're trying to make America great again. Y'all need these wrenches. Y'all got to know about them. Y'all need to know about that life. Figure it out. My dad would roll over in his grave before he took something to a mechanic. Like, it's already broke. What's the worst you can do? Break it some more? So just go out there and try it. And if you've been we've got a lot of guys that come to this industry because they're tired of their desk job. I totally get that. But if you're in your 30s or 40s and you've never went outside and piddled around on a small engine, you've never tinkered on things, hey, now it's time to start tinkering. So just man up, go in the backyard. If you tear it up, just make up a story and then take it to the guy and let him fix it. But at least you gave it a shot, like the college try.
Yeah, but I asked a question. I asked a question in my last question, or in my last class. Of I was going through my toolbox, and I said, "All right, now hand me the metric adjustable wrench." Hey, but if you look at the adjustable wrench, one side is metric. It'll say metric, and on the other side it says standard. So I mean,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
But you don't have to be. If you are, obviously that will help you in the long run. I put out a lot of videos about different things, and you can go look up. Coty's put out a lot of videos that, he gets a lot of the same common questions, and he'll put a video out on there. And so just doing all that kind of stuff, there's places to do it, and I break it down, and I know people have told me I Barney it. I make it as simple as possible so that you understand what you need to know. The other day I sent somebody to your video about adjusting the pressure on there because he burnt up 2 pumps, and
actually Thursday I sent one of your videos to a guy, how to wire up a switch. You got that video, and he bought one of our manifolds, and he emailed me. He was like, hey, how do I wire up this switch? At first I didn't know that he bought a manifold. I thought it was just a random dude. I was like, who are you? He said, I bought a manifold. Okay, so you're a customer. All right. So I was like, hey, just watch this video from Jason, easy. Just watch the video. You got it. So I guess we traded out on that one.
Yeah, and I've sent that video probably 3 or 4 times out because I know people will burn up a pump and they're like, or they'll say, my fuse keeps popping, my fuse keeps popping. I'm like, well, is it running solid or is it going, nick, nick, nick? And he's like, it's doing that. Okay, here's this video.
Right. Yeah, troubleshooting is, the good thing about it is if you can make it a year, you've probably seen every scenario in troubleshooting, and you're at least going to know kind of where to start at. But those first few times, man, you can spend an hour, 2 hours trying to find an air leak. Whereas now you could go out here in the shop and just create an air leak on the skid, and I can go out there and find it within 3 minutes. But I know what to look for.
Right. So I'm trying to make sure. I know there's a lot of questions coming through. Normally my computer will do it. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. I appreciate it. I see some coming through. That is definitely, I appreciate that very much. Is there an online class? There is an online class. I do have the online class. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com/training. I go through everything. I have a marketing section. I have a pressure washing section. And I even have a Christmas light section. Somebody asked, where is the class going to be on July 31st? And where is that going to be at, Coty?
It will be right here at my facility in Roanoke, Alabama. So we are about an hour and a half southwest of Atlanta. We're just kind of on the Georgia-Alabama state line.
So is there any good spots? We're going to actually be staying at Great Wolf Lodge. What is that, about 45 minutes from you there or something?
Yeah. So that's LaGrange, Georgia, and that's where I used to work at. So a lot of people that live here, they work in that next town over. So if you guys want to come, there's a couple hotels here in Roanoke. Don't recommend them at all. The only one that is really a hotel, the only thing over there that I know is clean is the roof because we cleaned it. So the rest of it kind of, I would stay in LaGrange and just drive over that morning. But yeah, there's plenty of hotels in LaGrange. The Great Wolf is cool. You're going to like it.
Yeah, I'm bringing my family down with my kids, so that's where we'll be staying. So I'll be staying there. But so if you're coming to the class and you're going to be spending the night, obviously you said stay in LaGrange, Georgia.
Yeah, and if you're coming from like west, you could stay in Anniston, Oxford, Alabama. That's about 50 minutes the other way. So depending on which way you're coming.
So just remember, if you're staying in Georgia, that is Eastern time, and if you go to Central time to where he's at, you will get there an hour early.
Yes, yes. And,
so
if you're the kind of guy that likes to get there an hour early anyway, well, now you're there 2 hours early. And
Coty really likes when you get there real early and hang out with him.
So normally on Fridays, there's always, we build Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what's going out on Friday. We try, that's how we do it. So Friday, there's always little stuff to finish up. Dusty's going to be doing that while I'm teaching the class. But if there's more than I kind of think he can knock out, I'll get here at like 6 a.m. and just get a head start on it. Dude, every time I'll pull up and there'll be somebody in the parking lot just posted up. And I'm like, I'm just going back and getting me a biscuit. I'm not doing it. Like, it's not that I don't want to talk to them, but they won't even let me get out of the truck. They'll be like, hey, what's up? How do y'all do flyers, cigar signs, and marketing? I'm like, listen, man, we're going to talk about it in a minute. First, let me get in here. We'll hide. We'll go hide. We'll shut the door. And I know they're just, excited to be here. And a lot of them are getting equipment. So if they come in, they want to start looking at their trailer. And it ain't a big deal, but 3 hours matters to me a lot. I can get a lot of stuff done in 3 hours. So if you want your stuff to be ready to leave on Friday, then it'll have to be built. So
I haven't even looked at questions. Sorry, guys, but
there's a lot of questions coming in.
I know there is. My computer's being stupid, so normally I could pull them up. But so if you're staying in Georgia, just remember you will get there an hour early because he is in Central Time and he's right on the border.
Yep, we're 8 miles from the time zone change.
Are you really?
It's just right over there. It's aggravating, but everybody here is used to it. We know it. We just automatically do the math. But
yeah, before Indiana used to not change their time, so it depended on if they were an hour behind, depending on if we had changed our time or not. So that really got confusing. So
yeah. I lived in Indiana for a year.
Oh, did you really? We're at up on the.
I lived in Gary, like straight up ghetto, thug life. Yeah, I stood out like a sore thumb. It wasn't good. That's where my love of guns started.
That's funny. That's a rough town up in that area. That's probably one of the roughest town in Indiana.
Well, so there was Griffith, Indiana, and Gary. And we lived on this side of the street, and across the street was Griffith. So we really weren't in Gary. There were some nicer towns like Crown Point and stuff like that were really close by. But my dad moved us up there. He went to a Bible college up there. So
okay.
Year we were there. September 11th when that happened, we were there. I was 15.
You're youngin'.
I'm a baby, man.
Which I was 21 then, so that's not too bad.
Oh, that ain't that bad.
I know it. But you hit 40, it goes downhill from there now.
I'm gonna retire at 40.
So this is a good question because I was wanting to do this kind of with you. Benjamin Baker put, can we please talk about the accountability group? Jason, I've been dying for it. As you know, in order to get to the next level, people like me, we need this in our business. Any thoughts or update on that? Would you be willing to do an accountability group with me of so much a month for people? And then, so I'm going to
explain it.
Do what now?
What exactly would that be?
I'm looking at people that have made so much money. Not so much the new person, but at least $100,000. I'd like for them to be at least $100,000 or more, because that way we're not answering the questions of, how to fix this and that kind of stuff, but to really get our business to the next level. And it would either be like maybe 1 or 2 Zoom calls a month. And then that way we could talk and keep it to help throw business ideas around and to help, this person did this and it worked, or this person did that and it worked.
I got you. As long as it's not on Facebook.
No, it won't be on Facebook. It would be a Zoom live or something like that.
I'm down for that. I'm fully convinced that Facebook is the devil.
I'm not disagreeing.
It just is. So in the book of Revelation, at the very end, God throws Satan into the pit along with Facebook and stuff. So it all goes in there, and then the smoke goes up forever. That's what happens. You didn't know that, did you?
Hey, this thing right here knows somebody was telling me about tracking and all that. I'm like, they know when you're pooping, when you're peeing. They know who you're talking to. They know everything about you right here.
Yeah. The best thing I ever did was get a landline. Y'all see that cord? I got me a landline and a curly-headed blonde that sits right here. And she just does all that for me. I will leave my phone at home like 3 days a week. I'll come to the shop and work all day, but I'm not missing calls because they're coming
right
here. So I was about to lose my mind.
Is she getting pretty good at answering all the questions now?
She is. I'll walk in the hall sometimes and listen to her just to kind of make sure that, if it's technical, she'll get with me and get back to them, or I'll just come up here and get on the speakerphone real quick and kind of run through it. But she's getting there. So the plan for us next year is to get my guy that's in the truck right now, Jonathan, into a sales role. So because he'll have run a truck for a year. Gotcha. So he'll be able to speak to what he's talking about, and answer just general stuff. Get Emily back to actually what she's supposed to be doing, which is just accounts payable, accounts receivable, that kind of stuff. So
I got you. But yeah, that was my thought on, get back to the accountability group of doing something along those lines. And, even if I know there's other systems out there, not Facebook, that we could do a group, where people can talk and chat and say, hey, this works or that work. And, I know it's not going to be, I don't want it to be real cheap, but I want it to be worth their time and everything. And, and to try to get people to the next level,
Here's the thing. If you're the biggest fish in the pond you're in, you're stuck.
Yep.
You need to hang out with bigger fish. And I mean, that goes for all of us. So I try to find my personal mentor here that's in town with me. He's running a business with about 20 employees. and probably $5 million a year. It's a completely different industry, but he's older than me, and I talk to him, every few days. I couldn't put a valuation on what that's been for me, just personal development, as a leader, and just because sometimes it's not easy. And that's the thing I struggle with, is just how do you lead when it's your own company? Because when I was a manager at Walmart, it was no big deal. I could keep a straight face, deal with whatever was going on, because it wasn't I don't care about that stuff. But when it's your stuff and somebody tears it up or something happens or they make boo-boos, it's hard. So he's helped me. It is a good thing to have.
And it's one of those things you learn too, in leadership is, I listened to a podcast the other day. I forget who it was. He's the pastor of Faith Church, and he does a podcast, Craig Groeschel or something like that. And, you got to, when you get to that point in business, you got to learn to start giving stuff away, especially the stuff that you don't like. Give that stuff away and you got to trust people that they can do it. Now, if they can't do it, then you got to pull it back and find the next person. But if you want to grow a business, you got to be able to trust somebody. Here, take this and run with it. An operational manager. Take that, and that way I don't have to deal with operations or marketing or different things of our business. And that's where we got to delegate it and be able to push it out and be able to grow it that way.
Well, what you really got to do is trust, but verify. That's what you're talking about. Is you'll say you've got, like, the position I'm in, I've got a guy in here doing office marketing stuff. I've got guys out here building. I've got a guy in the wash truck, and I've got Emily sitting here doing her thing. Now, I really don't have to check up on her, but I've got I'm basically a CEO / QA. I'm a quality assurance. So I'm just visiting these different things throughout the day, making sure that's, look at everything, make sure it's right, make sure the wash truck is right. I may need to go out in the field once a week and just make sure he's following the right processes.
And that'll be good too of you getting to this point, because I know you were struggling to get even out of the shop a little bit, of getting out of that shop to make it. What's he putting here? Coty, I sent you a thank you letter in the mail a couple days ago. Please don't throw it away. It will be from Ohio.
I'll take a look, man. It all comes here, so I'll get it.
But this way you can, I know you've had a trouble or hard time getting off of building rigs, but if you can get people in there to build rigs where you're not out there the whole time, then you can really, you'll be AC locker second. So you'll be getting on the Softwash systems eventually and beating him. Yeah. So
I can do a really good AC impression. I can. I'll do it later for $1. You have to admire AC, though. I've spoken to him a few times, and he runs a heck of a company. He's a competitor, but a lot of times we get so wrapped up in soft washing. Like, step outside of that box and look at other companies that are doing similar, service industry type stuff. There's a big company here that's local, Jackson Heating and Air, and they've got multiple franchises in several cities. And so, like, what is that guy that's running that company doing? Because a lot of that stuff translates right over to what we're doing. It's just business management stuff, but you're probably not necessarily just born with that in you. You may have some of it, but the stuff that you suck at, identify it. The first step to fixing a problem is identify a problem. So be honest with yourself. Take an inventory. Say, I suck at that. Okay, I know that you do this. You take training on stuff all the time, because Jason ain't just awesome at every single thing. He's awesome at some things,
right?
But the other stuff you've had to work on to get to be competent in them, and that's just human nature.
And I still do the same thing. I mean, I'm taking a YouTube class to learn how to do YouTube better. How to tell stories better, and that's what it comes down to, is storytelling at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can't show it because we're live, but right here on the table's a boomstick. I take training. I take gun training, right? I don't take training, and I take training from big name guys. All those big name guys, they train with other big name guys because they pick up things, they share things, and they'll pay for the class and go and take it because they want to make sure that what they're putting out is legit info, and they're just kind of bouncing things around. That's one thing that was good for me at Washathon, just being around, you and Aaron and Bobby and other guys. And so there were some guys at Washington who were fairly established, 2 or 3. Most of them were starters, right? That's what Washington is for your starting out guy to get him kind of rolling. But it's good to network with people that are your peers. It's better to network with people that are above you. You should have this. You should have a colleague. You should have a mentor, and you should have a mentee. You should have somebody you're helping, somebody that's helping you, and somebody that's in the trenches with you.
Absolutely. You know, and they always say that you'll be like the 5 people you're around. So if you're around 5 duds, you're going to be a dud. You know, the best thing, you might have to change your friends and change the people that you're around to be around more successful people. And, you know, sometimes I went to B&I business networking meetings, and that was kind of to get me out of, because I was around people around the firehouse. Well, the people around the firehouse, they have, 9-to-5 mentality. They don't have an entrepreneur mentality. You got to get around entrepreneurs to be able to grow and find these entrepreneurs, like you say, find a mentor that will get you to that next level.
Yeah, that's huge for you in business. It's fun to me learning this business stuff, right? That's what's exciting me now. Year 1 was like, man, we're doing great on this wash truck. Year 2 was like, man, we're doing this training thing. Year 3 is like, man, I've got a company, like a for realsies company, man. It's like, this is cool. And then year 4, I'm gonna die from the stress.
Now you see why AC's bald. So pulled it
he
all
was
up.
great. He like Obama. Obama looked young, you know. I don't agree with hardly none of his politics, but he looked young. And then like year 8, he looked like the crypt keeper. He just sucked the life out of him. It was bad.
Yeah, I was telling my wife that the other day because we watched Trump, the series of Trump. It's actually a pretty interesting series. And man, when they showed Obama when he was first getting in office, and when it looked like 20-year-old man, 20-year difference on him.
Okay, frankly, Obama was washed up, okay? He's garbage. He was a horrible president. I'm the best president. It's going to be the best training class you've ever taken, okay? Just want to say we get the best people working on it.
Oh, that's awesome. But, well.
I'm trying to look at these comments here. Let's see. Is there anything?
Oh, yeah. When's Orlando, or when's Washington? Have we heard any more? I know I haven't seen that one, so.
I talked to Bobby, and so we were going to shoot for September, but the COVID crap is back going crazy in Florida. And so my fear is we lock this thing in, we spend a bunch of money, and then we have to shut it down. Because what if you're coming from a state that says, hey, if you go to Florida or some of these 10 or 12 states and you come back home, you got to quarantine, or you can't come back in. So I really don't know what to do. We may wind up having to, I was going to talk to you about it when you got here, just, it's risky. We may just have to wait till the spring and do it big in the spring. So I don't know, man. I'm so ready for this COVID stuff to be gone.
Me too. I don't
the
like
Illuminati.
it.
I blame the Illuminati.
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of election bullcrap is what I think it is, but
pretty much.
I know it is. So, and I've been stirring it on my page a little bit on Facebook. So,
did you see the governor of Ohio was like, or they mandated mask wearing in Ohio, and that there was a sheriff in one of the counties who was like, no, we're not doing that.
Kentucky's governor is a Democrat, and he mandatory, and we have the lowest numbers of everywhere, but we got a mandatory all the mask and all this stuff, and it's a bunch of bull crap. And all the sheriffs are like, don't call us, we're not doing it. Call the health department.
If you're in Kentucky, you need to just go get on the ark and just wait, because it's coming. Like,
hey,
just ride the flood out.
I've been going to Indiana for the last few days because we only live 20 minutes from Indiana, and it's completely open, no mask, no nothing. So
yeah, that's how we are down here. Of course, Alabama's pretty sparsely populated too, but they ain't gonna try that down here. There's too many rednecks.
All they're doing it here, and you got the people, like you just don't care for other people. No, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
I don't care. I've just decided that I'm going to stop arguing with them They're like, you're a racist. Yeah, okay. You don't care about other people. Yeah, that's fine too. I'm like, yeah. I'm good. I'm just loading mags, dog. Y'all just let me know when the boogaloo starts. It's like, I'm just done arguing. You're not listening. You're not listening, homie. You're not listening. So just say whatever you want to say.
If you can't see that it's political, because all the Democrat states have shutting it down, and the test. I mean, I had when this first all started, and what kind of got me to the point of I don't believe it is in the very beginning. We had a guy that would have he died. He ended up dying. But he probably wouldn't have died if they wouldn't have been scared, if they would have went to the hospital. But everybody was so scared to go to the hospital. So we worked this guy all the way to the hospital and stuff, and they would have called it COVID. Well, they got tested. I mean, it was all the signs and symptoms of COVID. You could check every 20 boxes of COVID. It didn't come back COVID.
Yeah.
And from that day on, I was like, you know what? How true is this stuff? So
what's really bothering me is it ain't gonna go away. Right. It's here. Okay. The flu ain't went away yet, and we've had it long a couple thousand years. So now there's a virus, and now it's gonna be here next year too. So it's staying at the house is not gonna fix it. At some point, you got to go outside. So you're either gonna get it this year, you're gonna get it next year, you're gonna get it, in 3 months. Just go on and go to the store and get it. It can be done. The only thing we can do is get herd immunity.
Right.
If
now they're saying the vaccine guys are saying that ain't working. That won't work either now. So, but here's another. Let's get back to pressure washing, because somebody actually asked this question. The business mentor is what we need. I would pay anything to have a teacher who would answer questions, lead to the right direction. I can help you with that. What about the huge convention? What do you think is going to happen there?
I was going. I mean, I'm planning on going, but since I'm not on Facebook, I don't see any. So you text me if something changes, because
they're still planning on having it. But I know with this everything, I know Thad's got to be. I would think a lot of his sponsors are pulled out of it.
Well, I'm just telling you, the King Ranch is going to have a lot of ammo in it. So if we get to Atlanta, things start. Y'all just get to the white truck and we'll be all right. I'm not going to say anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that, I was going to sign up for it a while ago. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't paying my money because this is too crazy out there. I'd rather pay an extra $100 to make sure that I'm going versus paying it and then it don't happen,
Yeah, I'm gonna get my ticket pretty last minute.
Because I know John said he wasn't coming, and a bunch of other people won't go to it because they're scared to death of it. So
John who? Which John?
John Tornabini or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did see that. Who else? There was somebody else I saw that wasn't going to be there. And I've never been to the Huge, so I was really looking forward to it because it's it's not far from here, so right. I can drive up there the day of. I'll just leave out that morning, but I don't know.
I like it. I've went several times. It'll help your business grow. I mean, I don't usually push it too much, but.
Well, I'm worried about running into Ben Hill there because
he's going. I did see that the other day.
Yeah, so it's going to be awkward. Like, hey, what's up? I'm gonna wear a blue bandana, and he can wear a red bandana, and we'll be the Crips and the Bloods. I don't know it. I'm still, I'm all joking aside. I do want to go, and I hope everything works out to where I can go because there's a lot of dudes I'd just like to meet up with, and I'm really just going for that, just a hangout time. So.
Right.
Man, we'll see.
Yeah, I was wondering because I know Thad. He was like, "We're having it," and they've been running ads. We're having it, and I'm like, the more crazy this gets, and the closer it gets to election day, the more. And that's why I told my wife, I was like, "What is the next thing coming? There's something else coming. What's the next thing coming?"
Yeah. I really just want to wash these buildings and make some money and stuff. I'm tired of all of this. Whoever's got the Jumanji board, put it up. Stop.
Yeah, but let me see if I got any other questions here. I know I wasn't very good on. Well, I was good on questions for the first 45 minutes before you got on here. So.
Okay.
Somebody put the white truck. Oh my gosh. Coty. now that you're big, how does your advertising change?
Now that I'm big, I don't feel big. I'm like $180, so I'm not a huge dude. We're doing the same thing. We haven't changed for our wash truck. None of that stuff has changed in what we've ever did because we're out here in the middle of nowhere. So our service radius is an hour from the shop, and that picks us up about 6 towns. I don't know what the population that gets me, but it's enough to keep a wash truck busy. So we're just doing the same old things we've always done for advertising here locally. The equipment and training side, most of that is through YouTube, just marketing, through YouTube. So one thing I want to get on top of once I can get out of the shop is getting on Google. If you Google Softwash systems which that's a brand, but if those are the words, so good on AC for picking the right words. But if you Google those words, I might pop up, I might not. So there's like other people out there that are beating me on Google. But honestly, right now I couldn't handle the work anyway. So we're staying busy just with what we're currently doing.
What and how much was the class? It's $550 for the class. That's right. On July 31st. So
yep, and we'll have lunch provided. So yeah, that's what it is. You can get it on our site. You can book it, or you can go through Jason's link on his page.
Yeah, pressurewashhelp.com/Coty will get you there. Never take a photograph of your employees working on top of a roof without a harness and stuff. Your insurance will go up, and if you ever have somebody hurt and OSHA comes in, you are screwed. Period.
Yeah, your guys shouldn't be doing that anyway.
I know somebody made a video of them doing a roof clean on this other side of the camera here.
So my video that I've got a bunch of views on how to clean a roof, you know who's in the video?
The owner of the company.
The owner. Like, I'm not going to be like, well, let me film my dude over here. And in the video, I stated 2 or 3 times, the right way to do this is to harness, but just for the sake of this video. And even that doesn't get me out of the woods, but it's better than putting your employee out there.
What's the cutoff of the class? I'm sure we'll do it as of up to
Thursday night.
Hey, I've had people, last class I had 2 people sign up the night before, and I've had people sign up the morning of, so.
Yeah.
Don't scratch too hard on your chicken pox.
I ain't got no chicken pox right now. I had them. Also, would you say the Southeast builds compared to Softwash systems? Okay, let me answer that. So I have worked on a Softwash systems rig before, fixing it for a friend. When I say that, I'm not saying that it was something broke. It was just normal, regular old maintenance. What we build compared to what they build is the exact same thing. The difference is their skid is an aluminum frame and mine is steel, and we coat it with a bed liner. I am trying to get our skid design made out of aluminum. It's very hard to do that in the middle of Alabama. So there's a shop I'm actually taking one to this week, taking one of our skids down there, the shop that does our aluminum fab work for the aluminum trailers, to get them to spec me out one made out of aluminum. Nobody around here wants to fool with it. It's like they can do it, but it's hard to do. It's not easy. So the only thing that I can see, just being honest, on AC's skid that Softwash Systems' product is it's all aluminum, so you don't have any corrosion issues ever. And there's shelves that come down over the bed rail that get your hose reels down closer. But it's a lot more money. So, you're
probably 3 times as much money at Softwash Systems, aren't you?
Yeah. But again, great company. If you buy something from them, you're going to be fine. You're going to make money, but the guts are going to be the same, the same thing, the same performance. So one thing I will say kind of on our side is that our stuff's going to be easier to work on because it's all right here. It's not behind boxes and plates and crap like that.
And AC's is all behind boxes and plates, and it's all, it looks nicer, but it's not friendlier to work on.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I've
just, pros and cons, but.
So, I mean, he builds a great product. I mean, you got to give it to him. How long has he been building them for?
Long time. I don't know, close to a decade, I guess, over
I
a
was gonna
decade.
say, I think he's been building them for as long as I've been pressure washing, so about 10 years.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't believe me when I say I've been doing this 16 years because I'm not that old, but I have. Like, I washed my first solo roof in 2004 when I was in 11th grade. So
Churchill, thank you for answering that. I'm looking for a system right now. Well, if you're going to order it from Coty, it's about how far are you out right now?
6 to 8. We've been hitting on 8 almost everything. We can't get it down. We try to beat 8, but what's killing us right now is getting parts in. So it's going to be somewhere right in there. But I'm hoping this new guy in the shop is going to help with that time frame. So we'll have a little bit more manpower and we can start whittling away at that lead time. Ernest Scott, the IV, says, y'all have disappointed me. I don't know what he's asking. So, Ernest, what per se have we disappointed you on? Because, I'll stay up at night if I don't know. I mean, it'll just eat at me.
What's a good do you recommend for starting a new business? What skid do you recommend to start a new business?
Well, it just depends on what you want to do. So that's not a good enough question. And I'm just saying that. But I had a guy the other day that called and he was looking at our aluminum trailer, a trailer from a place in Florida, and a trailer from somewhere in South Carolina. All three of them did completely different. Like, one of them had hot water, one of them was an air diaphragm Softwash setup, and one of them was ours, which is residential setup. Like, bro, first thing you got to do is figure out what your business going to do. Like, so you got to figure out what are you going to go clean, and then okay, I'm going to give you a military thing, even though I'm not and never was in the military, but this is a really good saying. Mission drives the gear, right? So whatever your mission is determines what gear you've got to have. Don't get those cart and horse backwards. You go buy this gear, well, now that might not be what you needed to do what you had in mind that you were going to do.
Right. To thoroughly rinse out a 12-volt pump after a job, how many gallons of clean water would you need to run through it? Is 4 gallons enough to clean it out?
No, it is not. So with ours, like 200 feet of hose, you got to figure how much water is just in the hose. So you first got to purge the spool of hose and get it out of the wine. I'll run it for about 10 minutes. What I like to do, and you probably do this because you're a smart guy, I'll take my tip off the end of the wine so that I get open flow, and that flushes quicker than leaving the tip on. And I'll just lay it, once I get in the water, I'll just lay it down, let it run while I'm getting the check from the homeowner. And that might be 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Water's free. So the more the better. But 4 gallons ain't going to be quite enough.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's what I know. Coty probably, I see what he's saying. He don't agree with his COVID and crap, but that's fine. We drink enough bleach, we ain't got to worry about it, is what I always tell people in my class. But we'll tell how to get to class. But if you don't get this stuff rinsed out good, you will for sure make sure that you will. You'll be burning up your pumps. I know guys that won't clean them out. They get lazy. They'll be like, I'll do it at the end of the day. And you know when the end of the day comes, it doesn't come. That drives me nuts more than anything. Is I do it at the end of the day. And even the business owner, even if you spend money, if I spend money, I still can get lazy and don't do it. And all it does is make stuff not work right. And at the end of the day, you're going to have a bad day. Well,
you're not just hurting the pump. You're hurting your very expensive hose reel, right? So if SH is sitting inside that manifold on the inside of the hose reel, it's eating it up. I won't even drive to the next job with bleach in the system. So if you've got a blendable system or you're running, drop sticks, it's easy to just pull it out and run water through it. That's not doing that is costing you a ton of downtime and money and aggravation with changing pumps. And John Lane did a video first of this year or into last year where he had a pump die mid-job, rolled his crap up and had to leave, had to order a pump. So because the pump was dead, he couldn't rinse out. Well, he got his new pump, put it on. He thinks life is good, fires it up, blowing fuse. turns out that because that SH had sat in the hose reel, it had just ate the hose reel to nothing. Like he looked through the pipe and it was like supposed to look like this and it was like this. So he couldn't flow. So now he's got to buy a hose reel. So these are bleaches. Bleach ain't no joke, y'all. Bleach is very corrosive. So just think of it like you remember RoboCop 1? Remember the old RoboCop?
Yeah. Yep.
You remember the dude at the end, towards the end of the movie, that big vat of chemicals like spilled on him and it melted him down into nothing? That's what bleach does to your stuff. So rinse it out.
And it'll do that to you also. I always tell people in my class, if you get this stuff on you, you got to get it off of you. I've seen, this is why, people say, just buy a backpack sprayer and we can spray with a backpack sprayer. You know how many times I've seen pictures on Facebook of chemical burns all down their tail? A bunch. Yeah. All it takes is one little drip that drips. And next thing you know, you will have 3rd-degree chemical burns on your butt. And this is serious, buddy. You will be like, that was the dumbest thing I ever did.
I had a self-inflicted 2nd-degree chemical burn right here many years ago. I'm spraying like a dummy. I didn't have any barbs and tools on my truck. I mean, just simple crap. Couple clamps, couple barbs. Well, I developed a leak. I was using a trigger gun. Developed a leak right here where the hose went onto the barb. The barb was old, those poly barbs. And so it's running and it's dripping down my arm. And I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to finish the job. Well, 45 minutes later, I'm finished. And I've got just a strip of red, and it was a chemical burn. Stop and fix it. Rinse your freaking arm off. Like, get it off of you.
And it's not just SH either. Sodium hydroxide will do the same crap to you, especially if it's a hot stuff. It will get you. It will get you. Do you ever cover up the solar panels to wash the roof, or does it matter? Don't spray. Again, this goes back to do not spray electrical stuff with SH. It is very conductive. You might not cover it up, but do not spray it because you will screw up solar panels if you get that salt, because salt will conduct, and that can be big issues.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm trying to read, and homeboy up here, let's see, so-and-so's, Ernest says that apparently he's offended by something I've said because apparently I am actually a racist. So let me just address that real quick. My dude, stop fighting windmills, okay? Nobody here is against you at all. I would call him a brother. I've got a really close friend, Dominican Republic guy. I've got a really close friend. I've got a friend that's black, but I've got a really close friend that's Hispanic guy. It doesn't matter. And if you're coming in here in my universe, I'm just me, okay? And the problem with the country right now is you're looking to be a victim. And if you look hard enough, you can convince yourself that regular old dude right here that ain't got nothing against nobody is out to get you. And if that's what the story you want to tell, go ahead. Again, I'm done with the convincees. Like, I'm done. I'm just going to do me, right? And anybody with a micron of sense, go look at my content, go get to know me through YouTube, and you'll understand that ain't what I'm saying. I'm just done with, it's stupid, man. I'm done with it. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. Ignorant. That's ignorant, bro. We're not, whatever you're thinking is not so. So sorry we disappointed you, but you gotta get right on that, dude. It's if you look for it, you're gonna find it.
Yeah. So it's $550 per class. Somebody was asking, I don't know, are we going to do the $150 if they're from the same company? I know you have that on there, but
I hadn't thought about it.
I don't know if you can actually. I don't think you can do it on there. I know you can do it on your other class, but I don't think it's on this one.
Yeah, it's probably not set up for that. It's set up for my regular class, but I don't think we've got that set up for that. I really didn't think about it. So if you're two people coming from one company, just call us and let Emily send you a QuickBooks invoice, and we'll adjust the amount, give you a little bit of a deal. Well, it was something else that was up here. Somebody said 1.5% on the house wash. No issues with killing plants at this percentage. False. You will kill some stuff at 1.5. Now, at 1.5, I'm not freaked out, but I'm still cautious, right?
Wetting everything down.
If it's 1.5 and it's November, rinse it off when you're done. If it's 1.5% house wash and it's July, every situation is different. What kind of plants are they? If it's a holly bush with a waxy leaf, it's going to run off. If it's a crepe myrtle, 1.5 is going to kill it anyway. So
Japanese maple.
I don't even like, the only good thing about the Japanese are Toyotas. So again, my racism is showing. No, Japanese maples are sensitive. They're just 1.5 is still bleach, and then the surfactant can come into play too, because it'll make it stick, right? So using a bunch of surfactant, you just rinse. Bleach is Roundup for plants, so rinse the piss out of it.
Yep, and I always did say, let's see, can we set the accountability group, please? I'm in.
Hey, Benjamin has already paid his first month. He's dropping these $24.99 super chats, man.
Is WD a water displacement?
WD-40 stands for Water Displacement Formulation 40. That's what it stands for.
Does it really? I didn't know that.
That's right. When they made WD-40, that was the 40th attempt to get what they wanted it to do.
So remember that, guys. It took 40 attempts to get it to what it do. So if you fail on something, don't fail. Then you quit. Then you're a quitter. If you fail,
that's a really good analogy.
If you fail and you learn from it and you do it again and do it again and do it again, and 40 times later, they finally came up with WD-40. And so
Wild West got it right. Yep.
And so don't sit there and think that, I failed tonight, I got to give it up, I can't do nothing. Don't do that. If you can and quit and be that way, but that's not how you're going to be successful.
Thomas Edison failed a whole bunch of times.
Anybody successful has failed a bunch of times. So, all right,
well,
I think
here's something I'm trying to get Emily to understand. So, in your business, some things aren't necessarily failures. We started shipping that surfactant, right? We were getting a pallet of it in. We were using the postal services before we had a UPS account. I'd take a bunch of them up there, and they were literally damaging half the pallet. We would ship the pallet over the course of 3 weeks or whatever.
Right.
Half of them never made it. Okay. Screw the postal service. We go to UPS. Okay. That percentage goes way down. So now we're getting returns of about 3 cases per pallet. That ain't bad. That's 36 cases shipped. 3 of them come back. Now, when the 3 come back, there's usually 1 of them got damaged. There's still 3 good jugs in there. So what I do is put those to the side and let Jonathan use those on the wash truck. Makes sense, right? In Emily's mind, and this is just, I don't fault her, this is good thinking until you look at it from a business perspective. She wants to get damages to 0%. I said, Emily, the cost to get, we could change caps, we could pay somebody to tape them all up and package the boxes, but that's man hours. The cost benefit analysis there is, I may actually be coming out better right where I'm at than trying to fix a problem. I'm going to spend more fixing it than I'm losing.
Absolutely.
So the more house washes, Benjamin Baker, the more you guys are crushing it, you're going to kill stuff.
Right.
If you tried to get to a 0, could you? Yeah, you could get to a 0 killed plant season, but you're going to probably lose, what do you think, 20 jobs? Because you're going to slow the guys down on each job. So we've got to find a quality level that we're okay with. And I'm not saying that you're okay with crappy work, but I'm saying if you do $400,000 worth of washing and you kill 4 or 5 bushes, replace them and move on. Because the cost to get that to 0 is going to hurt you more than just replacing the 4 or 5 bushes.
And I mean, the best out there are still going to have callbacks because you got those customers that no matter what you do, you could do everything for them, and it's still going to come back at the end of the day. And it don't matter. I mean, you got 10% of the people out there that you will never make happy. I don't care what you do, you will never make them happy.
Those are some miserable people.
And it don't matter, it don't matter if you're doing house washing or you're building rigs. You will never make some 10% happy.
Your McDonald's, the mechanic shop, CenturyLink internet provider, them's the breaks.
Yep. So, all right, I've been on here for 2 hours. If you hang on, I'll talk to you for a second after we get off here. I don't think we got any more questions. I think that was pretty much most of them. So, but thanks for all coming out. Go check out pressurewashhelp.com/Coty, and that will get you the link down here for the soft washing class. I hope I can log off this stupid thing. We might have to talk a little bit until I can shut it off and figure out when it shuts off. But
I'll watch it on my phone here.
It's just doing a circle there. Let me hit finish here. And, that is some things that we can definitely do. Go check that out. You can also go check out pressurewashhelp.com/training. And in there, I go over everything you need to know to start and grow a business and be successful. In that class,
Can I pitch something real quick?
As long as it don't shut off on you, go ahead.
Our safety manuals. If you guys need a safety program, that book is available. It'll be custom made for you. It'll have your company printed in all the blanks, and it's a binder with like 20